For me, seeing someone that's a part of the Spanish royal family was a shock. As an American, we don't have a royal family. In fact, it's the reason why America became America, to get away from the British royal family. So for me, kings and queens are just as foreign as aliens. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English on Autopilot. And today I'm going to tell you a story from last year, right around this time, when I went to the giant book fair that Madrid puts on every single year in Retiro Park. It's a very nice park. It's giant. It's kind of like the Central Park of Madrid. It's where the kings and queens would go to relax back in the time where kings and queens ruled Spain. Now, today in Spain, there is a king and there is a queen, and there has been ever since the end of the dictatorship of Franco. And in 1975, Spain transitioned from a military dictatorship to a democracy. However, there is still a royal family, but they play a different role than before the dictatorship. The role that the kings and queens play today in Spain is more symbolic, is more to talk to other nations, to put on different events, and the most important thing is the New Year's speech that the king gives every year. And the king and queen, they of course have to live in Spain, and their daughter, which will soon be the Queen of Spain, well, not soon, because her father is still quite young, is in training to become the Queen of Spain, the princess. And, well, to me, I knew there was a king and queen. There's, of course, a royal palace in Madrid that's absolutely gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. But I'd never seen them. I'd never been at an event where the king and queen or the princesses, because there's more than one daughter, were at. So I'd never seen them. To me, I knew they existed, but had never experienced anything related to them. So to me, it was kind of distant in my mind. Well, let's go back last year. One of my friends from the swim team messaged me inviting me to go with her to the book fair, and we were going to go and listen to a podcast live. It's a podcast she really liked that's produced every day here in Spain. And they talk about everything. They talk about books, they talk about news, movies, current events, whatever it might be, from politics to pop culture. They talk about everything. And the podcast is really interesting, but it's really long. It's multiple hours every day. It's very long, but it's very good and entertaining. And so I said, absolutely. One of my favorite events in Madrid is this book fair that's put on every year at the end of May, starts at the end of May, and goes almost all the way through June. It started yesterday here in Madrid, and I cannot wait to go. I live close to the park, and I'm able to go multiple times every year, and it is amazing. There are a ton of stands, just stands of booksellers all the way along the park. It is unbelievable. It's really impressive when you see it because there's so many book stands and so many books. Honestly, it's like paradise. It's beautiful. Authors come to sign books and to talk. There's different podcasts, as I mentioned before, and different types of discussions that you can go to and listen to that are really interesting about news, current events, about books, of course, and literature, interviews with authors. It really is an amazing experience, as well as stands for books in different languages, not just in Spanish. They have stands of books in Romanian, in Polish and Russian and Chinese, of course, in English. And so when she invited me, I said 100%, let's go. So we met there. We met close to the park at a metro stop, and we walked along. And she said, I heard that the Queen's coming today. And I thought, oh, the Queen, that's interesting. Because again, the royal family, they do press events a lot of the times. They go to inaugurate different things, they go to celebrate different cultural events around the country. And the book fair in Madrid is very famous, very famous. Booksellers come from across the country just to this book fair because it's such an important event. So to me, it made sense that the Queen would be there. And we kind of joked a little bit. We joked a little bit. What if we saw the Queen? Of course, completely joking because we didn't know when she would be there. We just thought that it was funny. Well, we get close to the park, and as we're entering, we notice a lot of police cars. Now, this is normal. It's a giant event with a ton of people, and safety is obviously a concern. With that many people in the area, safety is a top priority. So, not that weird, but there were a lot of police cars. So that was a little, huh. And we kind of kept joking, right? What if we see the Queen? Nah, no way, no way. And we get there, and there's a huge crowd of people. Again, it's normal. A ton of people go to this book fair. But then we see a lot of security kind of keeping the people back, right? Holding them back. And then everyone starts whispering, the Queen, the Queen, the Queen, she's right there. And sure enough, we look up, we look over the people, and the Queen's shaking hands, walking around, and it's like, the Queen. It's crazy. Here's a picture of the Queen that I took over the people. I know it's kind of hard to tell, but it's the Queen of Spain. Anyway, we sit there for a little while. Well, we're standing, we stand, and we're looking at the Queen, and we're marveling a little bit. But then after a while, we're like, well, let's go watch the podcast. It's starting in about 5 minutes. So we go, and the podcast, there's already a ton of people, already a ton of people. We sit in the back row, all the way in the back, and we start listening. And they start chatting, they start going. And then one of the announcers says, and now a very special interview with Queen Letizia, the Queen of Spain. And I hear behind me a ton of people, a lot of movement, and I turn and I look over my shoulder, and the Queen is standing right there with a microphone in her hand, answering a question. And my friend and I, we look at each other, we go, the Queen. Now, I didn't take out my phone to take a picture because it's awkward. She's right there. I'm not, no. It's, but it was a moment that was just a little surreal. It was, the Queen is standing right next to us. And then she answered a quick question and went on her way. Obviously, the Queen had a very busy schedule. Obviously, she wasn't going to stand around to be interviewed for an hour. But the Queen has a very good presence in Spain. She people really like the Queen because she's not from a royal family. No. The Queen was a reporter before. She was on television. She was on the news. She's very smart. She studied and was even a reporter in the Iraq War. The Queen has quite a resume. And I think because of that, because she's a commoner, right, a normal person, not from a royal family, the people really like her. And she really does a good job of having a good image and really being there for people. Even the king today is really seen in a good light. His father not so much, but we'll talk about him in another video. But the current king is quite popular as well. How do I feel about the royal family? Well, for me, it doesn't really affect me. I don't really care too much. As an American, I have a general opposition. I don't really like the royal family just because of my culture. Where I'm from, the royal family is a very weird foreign concept. I don't follow them in the news. I don't really care. But at the same time, I don't dislike them. I don't hate them. I don't have any strong feelings like that. No. I don't love them. I don't hate them. To me, it's fine. As long as they don't do anything bad or do anything to hurt the country, to me, no problem. But that's the day I saw the Queen. So put in the comments below, have you ever seen a person of a royal family before? Let me know. Or do you follow any royal families? Do you like to know about the British royal family, the Spanish royal family, or of another country? Or are you against royal families. Put that below. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Please subscribe to keep watching these videos. We'll see each other in the next one. Bye.